Oh, right, yeah. This is a Patreon from Kelvin. This is Zappa versus a super fan, basically, I think. Being interviewed by a mega fan. So, yeah, it should be interesting. To be fair, you kind of want mega fans to interview Frank Zappa. It needs to be. Um, but anyway, yes, go.
Yeah? I do have one of your albums. Well, that's okay.
It's me again, Frank.
All right.
I'm not a journalist.
You're not?
No.
Where are you then?
No, they invited me to do an interview with you, and because I think I know most of your research.
Bill.
Sitter ved siden av.
Huh?
Det er likør som har vært, den og den grå.
I don't know how much time do you have.
Vi har 20 minutter.
Well, probably about 15 minutes because we got to go 3 of these.
Vi har noen, sett deg litt nærmere.
I'm a bit nervous.
Så si.
Shush. Okay.
Begge to? Begge to?
Sorry, I didn't play detailed question yesterday.
Oh, we've done it with some of the other.
Yeah, that's I like that too.
Okay, thank you.
Sida, I'm going to talk about, I know most of the questions. I know what you answer to the most of the questions, but this is for youth station.
Okay.
So,
We have to talk youth talk, right?
no, not really.
Okay.
Hardcore,
Non-commercial.
hardcore, to hardcore crowds too.
Okay.
Yeah. Clock? Okay, first I just want to congratulate you as a Grammy Prize winner for the Jazz from Hell album.
Yeah.
And
It means so much to me, you know that?
But do you think that will have any influence in your further work with Clavier?
No.
No. You're releasing much music these days. You can't do that on stage anymore. Volume 1, a new guitar record. I believe there will be a new Clavier album coming out soon, Red on Canvas.
Blood on the Canvas is not a Sinclair album.
Not a
And it is not coming out.
And it's not coming out. No. How many you can't do that on stage releases will it be?
6 double CDs.
And it's all live material.
All live, no overdubs, all different bands,
and
covering back to 1968.
What about Opus 5? You look like a dork. Brown clouds, little dots.
Okay, I have one recording of Little Dots, and it is not a very good quality recording. Performance is good, but the quality of the tape is not too good.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm a little bit reluctant to release that. Brown Clouds is part of Gregory Peccary. Opus 5 is included in one of the mystery discs, I believe.
Yeah.
And what was the other one?
You look like a dork.
You Look Like a Dork. There is a good tape of that, but I can't figure out which album it would be best to put in. It's a studio recording.
You have been in the music business now for 23 years. During that time, you have been into nearly all kinds of music, making films, and tried to make your own TV station. And what happened to that?
People were just too afraid of what would happen if I had my own TV station. I couldn't get anybody to finance it.
Yeah, I think so. More recently, you have started up your own video company called Home to Home Video.
Yeah.
And can you tell us more about what's coming out?
Well, it's hard to talk about it because I don't have a European distributor for it yet.
Yeah.
So if I, tell you what was in there and you couldn't get it, then you'd be sad. But there are 6 shows, and
It's a package.
no, it's not, they're sold individually. There's 2 feature-length movies, Baby Snakes and Uncle Meat. There's
Burnt Winter Sandwich.
no, that's not in there.
No.
There is a 1-hour show called Video from Hell. There's a documentary called The True Story of 200 Motels. There's a 1-hour clay animation show called The Amazing Mr. Bickford, and there's a half-hour show called Bunny Bunny Bunny.
I could only imagine of doing so much of Zappa's music. I could only imagine what them shows is like.
So we won't be seeing the tapes that we made at the Roxy Theatre in December 1973.
Actually, there is a piece of that included in the True Story of 200 Motels. But all of that all the Roxy has been transferred to videotape, and one day I'll put together a Roxy concert.
Good, good. Could you tell us what the Parents Music Resource Center is, and isn't it led by Tip Gore, who is the wife of the Democratic presidential candidate Albert Gore?
Well, Albert just dropped out,
Yes.
and she was one of the ladies who is running it. The other lady who is running it is the wife of the Secretary of Treasury, James Baker. Her name was Susan Baker. And this is a group of ladies in Washington, D.C. who set out to, I say, censor rock music. They claim not, but I think that that's really what they wanted to do.
Yeah, that other side censorship is coming back. We did a video where he spoke in the press conferences about conservative censoring of music, and I said at the time, we live in the opposite world now, where it's the left. That whole conservative side of censorship, yeah, is starting to grow back.
Despite of all the so-called dirty words that are so dangerous to the children, do you think one of the reasons was that you now are more politically active? I mean, I'm referring to the George Mason, where you're not were allowed to perform. And
probably has something to do with it.
You're now tour with an 11-piece band. How do you compare this band with the similar bands you had before? I mean, the number in it, and I'm referring to the 73 band, the bands you had in 77 and 79.
I would say this is probably one of the best bands that I've had out, if not the best band.
I think so. How did you pick a band for this tour?
Well, it's a combination of guys that I've worked with for a long time, like Ike, who's been in the band for 10 years, and Chad for 8 or 9, and Scott 8 or 9, Bobby for 7, Ed for 8, I think. Plus adding the horn section.
Yeah, you add the horn section. What happened to Ray White? He was in the band when he first started the rehearsals, wasn't he?
He came to one rehearsal, and then he got a phone call that someone had broken into his house in San Francisco. So he left, and he went to San Francisco, and we never heard from him again. We could not find him.
Steve Vai was on stage
God, what happened to
on
him?
the US tour at one occasion.
No, he wasn't.
No, he wasn't.
No.
Sting, was he on stage? Yeah. And
Oh, yeah, we watched
which
that.
tune did you do with him? Was it any Beatles parodies or?
No, we did an Oliver Nelson song called Stolen Moments.
No, we didn't see
And
that.
after we played the melody, and then there was a trumpet solo, we brought Sting out, and what he did was, he explained to the audience, you know, this whole business about Jimmy Swaggart, the television evangelist with the pornography. He saw us do some material about Jimmy Swaggart, and so he came on stage and he said that 4 years ago he was attacked by Jimmy Swaggart, who claimed that one of his songs, Murder by Numbers, was written by the devil. So he performed Murder by Numbers with us.
Yeah.
Do you
That's what we
record all the
watched.
concerts on this tour?
Well, we didn't record last night because the truck
that's-
was broken, and we're not going to be able to record tomorrow night in Helsinki because the truck is still in Malmo being fixed, but we'll be recording again starting in Stockholm.
Will you do the mixing after European tour, or do you have time and equipment enough to
It
work
has to
on
be
it?
done when the tour is over.
Yeah. You're gonna do the rest of the US tour in the autumn or in the summer now?
I don't know definitely that we are going to do the U.S., but if we do, it won't be until late summer or early fall.
Then Halloween.
It would, end right around Halloween.
A while ago we were talking about releasing the material which was recorded in Helsinki, 1974.
That's right.
Yeah. what has happened to that? I mean,
It comes out in the next installment of You Can't Do That on Stage Anymore.
mm, yeah, yeah. You know, we have a fan club here in Norway.
Yes.
Yeah, and it has existed now for 8 years. And what do you think about that?
Well, in a way, I'm flattered, and in a way, it is like being followed by Interpol.
Yeah, they're driving around and see all the concerts everywhere.
Yeah, I know.
Some of them were. Yeah.
There's only two other organizations that have as good follow-up on their suspects. One of them is the Vatican, and the other one is the CIA.
Yeah. Many people don't realize that you are an anti-drug campaigner. Could you tell us more about it?
Well, let me be real specific. If you want to use drugs, go ahead. But you have to do it in such a way that your actions, when you are chemically impaired, don't hurt somebody else. I think people have the right to do anything they want to their own body, up to and including committing suicide. You know, if you want to murder yourself by inches, go ahead. But you do not have the right to harm other people because you're wasted. So I don't advise people.
To be fair, what he said, even though they said he is an anti-drug guy, we know that. But what he kind of said is the argument for legalizing drugs just then is that basically you should have the right to do it. No one should have the right to tell you not to, but you make a you don't arrest people for the drugs or the drug taking. Maybe dealing you could, but in our country they don't really. If you get caught with something and it's enough to be possession, then you'll get away with it. But yeah, once you actually do something, like say junkies that go out robbing and mugging old women to get their next crack hit or smack fix whatever, then yeah, you're breaking the law. You should go to prison for it. But just the act of doing it, because it's like even with heroin, which is probably the worst of them all, drug experts will tell you police will tell you 25% of heroin use is they're problematic. 75% of heroin addicts can actually just take it and kind of carry on their day.
Use drugs. I tell them to stay away, but if you're going to use it, you have a responsibility not to harm other people because you're using it.
Okay, I got no more questions now.
All right.
It has been a pleasure talking to you, and I'm glad you can do it.
Okay.
Yeah, because I have to agree with what he said there. It's like I'd say I'm the same. I think all drugs should be legalized. One, because it would just crush the cartels overnight. All worried about cartels, but there's an easy way to fix that. Legalize everything. But yeah, you have the right to do it, but I would say to people, don't. Like, I would stand on the you shouldn't take drugs, you shouldn't. Do you know what I mean? However, whether you should or shouldn't doesn't enter into whether you should be allowed or not. If you want to, you should be able to. But yeah, like you said, unless it impacts on someone else's life, which you could argue it's always going to in some way.
Thank you.
Good.
Actually, I've introduced a small concert hall called Bootleg with local bands and stuff. And it's going to be a bit different.
Yeah, this was quite good because it was an interview. Like you can tell, like I say, he was a fan. He's asking about little random. He's asking about things that aren't even released as well. But you could see his confidence grew over the thing. But you could really see at the beginning he was like, kind of, yeah, it almost like a kid round Santa Claus or something. Him sat round Zappa, like he just can't believe his luck that he's getting to interview him. But yeah, he actually asked, like, because that's the thing. Like, I have a lot of musicians who I'm like fans of, but I would never watch their interviews because the interviews is always the same questions. I can, like, say if Noel Gallagher goes on something, I know every question they're going to ask him. Every question, like 50 Cent, I know all the questions that everyone's going to get asked because it's always the same ones. And to have someone actually say, "Well, what about this? What about yeah?" It's this like, yeah. I'd love to see Zappa's TV show. I imagine it'd be like the Magical Mystery Tour. If anyone's ever seen that, the Beatles film, and it is mad. It is literally you watch it and you feel like you're on LSD. What just watching it? God knows what they was like. Well, they was like that making it. But yeah, yeah. That's the reaction. Sweet.